So welcome to Amanda and Jade's podcast number 3.
Yay!
We need to get a little, what's it called? Jingle, don't we?
Yeah, we spoke about that.
Definitely could do with a little jingle.
A little jingle, yeah.
That'd be pretty. If anyone fancies making us a little jingle,
Yeah.
we'll be up for that.
Yeah,
definitely.
make us a little jingle.
So we want to talk about mental health today.
Yes.
We always feel like it's such an important topic and something we both can relate to.
Definitely.
At some point in our lives. So
yeah,
I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think mental health can mean so many different things for different people.
Yes, it can. Yeah.
And I think you can have episodes throughout your life that are slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the first time I experienced it was early 20s. When you can, and what people don't realise is that you can have anxiety and depression at the same time.
It goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
It does, which people find, well, how can you be really, have really racing thoughts and then be really down and really demotivated?
Yeah.
And I remember having the worst after having lived. I think it was a bit of like...
Was it actual postnatal?
Yeah. So I had 100%. And I didn't realise it was that because I'd already had like a bit of depression, a bit of anxiety in my early 20s.
Whilst you were pregnant? Oh no, before you were pregnant.
And whilst I was pregnant.
Really?
It was so bad, man. I laugh at it now. But I think I went onto every bed of the maternity wards. Like before you have a baby, there's a ward you can go to.
Yeah.
Because it's like an out of hours. So at one point I thought I electrocuted Liv. So I'd fallen asleep on...
I wouldn't be surprised to be fair. Electrocuted her.
I thought I did. I'd basically fallen asleep. But this is like not far from a couple of weeks I was due.
Yeah.
And I'd fallen asleep on the plug that was still plugged in. So like the charger plug. So
yeah.
when I woke up, I had the imprint of the charger and I was like, oh my gosh, I've electrocuted my baby. So I went to A&E because I thought like I'd electrocuted her.
Wow.
I didn't know anxiety until I was like, I think it just heightened all the anxiety I had. And because you just don't know what to expect, all of these, these different things.
Yeah.
And one thing I've remembered the other day is because I had PMDD and it was on my notes as a mood disorder. I didn't understand this at the time.
Yeah.
So I was in 25. I had to be under a I couldn't have like a, full birth or any of that. I had to be under a like a proper consultation.
Really?
Yeah, consultant, sorry, that's the word I'm trying to think. Because I have mood disorder on my notes and I didn't even understand it. And because I have mental health. So it meant straight away that I couldn't have a certain birth that I wanted.
Mm. So did you want like a school birthday?
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm glad I had the drugs. Put it that way.
Yeah. I'm no hero, give me everything.
But already my plan in my head from having that all already changed. So I had to have more checkups and I'm really grateful for that. But at 25, I didn't really understand why I had to have those checkups or why I had to be under a doctor and not a midwife and all of those things.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I understand now it's to keep a close eye.
Yeah.
Because obviously even just being pregnant in itself, you can get quite anxious.
Yeah.
But
it's such a life-changing experience, isn't it?
I think that's what I remember her coming out and going, I just want to put her back in. I love her. But I want a day off. And that was on day 2. I was just so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And this beautiful baby was here and she was crying. I just was thinking, well, I just want her back in for a day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just want to sleep.
Can I rerun it? Yeah. But this is the thing. You've got this helpless little baby and it's relying on you. Yeah. Isn't it?
I think that's what it is. It's the overwhelm, isn't it?
Yeah, like, really overwhelming.
Oh my gosh, it's all on me. Like, and don't get me wrong, I'm, a very supportive family, etc. But, I think it's the not knowing stuff when you're a new mum. Like, what if I make the wrong decision? Like, a lot of anxiety is about what if, isn't it? Like, exactly, and that's the thought process. Am I doing the right thing? Yeah. What if I do this wrong? And all of these things. And like, I remember being so anxious about cutting her nails
That's a real,
I think that was a normal
I hear that a lot. Yeah.
And in the end, I was more anxious about her getting dirt, and it was like, I accidentally cut her finger, like only not her finger, her nail.
Yeah.
Anyone would have thought I chopped her finger off. I remember getting in the car crying, running in with this baby, and my mum and dad were like, Jade, what's going on? I'm like, I nipped her finger trying to get her nail. They were like, oh my goodness. Like, why didn't you just leave her nails? I was like, I thought there might be germs in there. Like, you just worst case scenario.
And why do you think it made you like that? Was it what you read? Was it
a lot
what
of it was
you
what
heard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is, there's so much out there, isn't it? And I think when it's your first and you're already an anxious person, you just want to get it right. And whereas maybe had I been my age now or an older mum, I would listen to my gut and go, look, Jade, you know what you're doing, or you've got a good idea, you've worked with kids, you've done this, you've got cousins, just trust your gut. But in my mind, there was just, all of this too much. And I think it's, there's too much misinformation for babies and things like that now. Yeah. You should swaddle, you shouldn't swaddle, blah, blah, blah,
See, I had almost the opposite experience because I was 18 when I had my son. And so I was like ultra young. And but this is how old I'm showing my age now. There was no social media and no mobile phones really. Literally, that's how long ago it was. The dinosaurs weren't quite roaming the earth, but it was a while ago. We did have colour TVs. But yeah, or if the phones were coming in, they were really, brick sort of thing. So I wasn't bombarded with it. The only person I could listen to were people that I knew in my family and friends that had already had children, or the midwife. And do you know what? I went through the whole of my pregnancy, no negative thoughts at all.
That's so good.
The only time I got a little stress was just before I was due to have him. Yeah. Because obviously, before you've had a baby, it is stressful, isn't it? The thought of giving birth and everything. But apart from that, it didn't even cross my mind there could be anything wrong with him, what I'd do when he was here. I was just like, well, it's going to come. I'm going to learn from the midwives, blah, blah, blah. And it was a breeze. It was a breeze.
I do wonder, like you said, there's not as much.
It's almost overload to cause anxiety, isn't it?
I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
If you don't, you should do this or you should do that. Yeah. And I think I lost my granddad halfway through my pregnancy. So at 20 weeks, he fell down the stairs and passed away.
Oh no.
And I don't think that helped my anxiety as well because, and I do think that was like,
and you were grieving as well on top of that.
You grieve. I think I was grieving and why my postnatal depression was so hard. And I talk about this all the time. Because he was so special to me growing up and he loved kids, it was so hard because 6 months, so it was 5 months after she was born, I think. So every time I'd give someone live, they'd cry because they were like, oh my gosh, we wish we were here. And
yeah, exactly.
And it was such a bittersweet moment because he'd only passed away sort of 5 months before. So that was quite difficult. But again, you find like you go through life and you kind of get a little bit lazy and, thinking we should appreciate every day and anything can happen every moment.
Yeah.
But it was that realization that a freak accident could happen. Because other than like his diabetes and stuff, he was a fit man.
Yeah.
And he'd had an operation, obviously, he had to have some of his toes removed. But he was still able to get out and about and he was due to go out the next day.
And it was just an awful tragic accident.
Yeah. Thing is, what old houses are like.
Yeah.
They're so steep.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he didn't want to use the stairgate. So the stair lift. He had a proper stairs, but he just thought, I'd toddle downstairs. Yeah.
So was he on his own or was your
my
grandma?
Nan, yeah. So it was, and again, that was when I was pregnant. So I think that just heightened.
And it would, yeah. If you already had those feelings anyway, is everything going to be all right, and then that exacerbate the situation, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think social media is amazing to find out things. And you think even now, it's got to the point where you can literally ask AI anything, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely anything.
Absolutely anything. And you get the answer almost instantly.
Yeah.
And I think it just can heighten anxiety, can't it? Because so many people are saying different things.
Yeah.
And if you're that way inclined, or, you know, there's something going on with you and you're not sure what it is, like, it can just make it 10 times worse.
I think because when you're an anxious person, you almost, what I tend to do, and I think we're very similar in a way, you think of the worst case scenario and then work back. So you can prepare yourself and go, right, worst case scenario, this is going to happen. So I know how to deal with it. And 9 times out of 10, it never happens. It's just your brain trying to say, right, okay, this is, you know, it's just part of our survival, but it's gone completely out of, you know, stuff.
I've been a chronic overthinker virtually as long as I can remember. But when, like we were just touching on, when I had my son and I was young, I can't really remember it whilst I was having, you know, he was tiny. I can't really remember being like that. But it's only probably in the last 25 years that I've actually thought it's going from bad to worse.
Yeah.
And so then you're thinking, is this now associated with social media?
Yeah.
Or, you know, you could think of it that way.
Yeah.
And I am awful at that. I literally go from, like you say, I've got something to do, or this is going to happen. And then like you say, I go to worst case scenario. And then I have to sort of say to myself, don't be silly.
Yeah.
It, you know, but what if it's going to end up good? Or, you know, what if this is going to happen? You know, and I'm thinking, where actually did that come from in the last 20 odd years? Yeah. What? And it's almost got to the point where I have to have a word with myself, because I do my own head in.
I do as well. I'm like, right, have a word. Take 5 minutes.
Yeah. But we're quite alike like that. I don't think potentially you're as bad as me, but we are quite alike like that, aren't we?
I think I've got better. I do think I've got better.
Because you've calmed me down a couple of times.
Yeah, and gone, we'll be fine. We'll just get,
Yeah. Exactly. Well, it's something you said, wasn't it? Something medical, and I literally just went totally off on one. It's
like, I think Google is the worst thing, isn't it? Because like you put your symptoms into Google and like, oh my goodness, like I've got all of these things wrong with me.
They say don't ever doctor Google, but if something's on your mind, I don't know if you get this. If you've got something on your mind that's worrying you, I will do that, like Google or ask someone or whatever, because I want an instant answer to calm my brain down.
Yes. And you get the opposite. You think,
exactly. So you're thinking, all I need to just be told is, oh, don't worry, it could be this. It might not be that, which is worst case scenario.
Yeah.
But then it's like, exactly, if you do then have got Dr. Google and it works out 10 times
the worst,
or it could be 4 more things that are 10 times worse. So yeah, you really shouldn't do it.
But what I find interesting is we would spend like so much money on like gym memberships, vitamins, injections or whatever for our physical health. But why do we not invest in our mental health?
Exactly that.
Like, it's okay to have therapy. I think sometimes going to therapy can be really good. Like, I think there's still a lot of taboo about, oh my gosh, you're going to therapy or you need therapy. Like, therapy is one of the best things I've ever done.
Well, they say the best thing you can do is talk. Don't bottle it up. Talk.
Gosh,
so that is basically therapy, isn't it?
And I think that's why what we're doing here is helping. Definitely.
I do, yeah. At the end of the day, I know everyone has their friends and family and things, but what is the chance that you're going to start opening up? Like, if you're a bit like me where you bottle things up, you're not going to then go and see your friend or your family and start talking about something that's really bothering you, in great detail. So, it is really important to have someone there.
Oh, definitely.
Isn't it?
I think so.